Hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/Xisuma. I was in the middle of doing stuff earlier today, and then I got all sorts of distracted with things happening and stuff. And so we're just gonna jump right in to the middle of me doing some stuff. Where's that sound coming from? Oh, I know what it is. It's this. Kind of looks like it hasn't activated in a very long time. Might something be broken? I don't know. Maybe we'll investigate later. I'll probably just forget about it. We got bananas in chat from Nealm, Ender Void Wolf, Mr. Brain, AOC, Cha. Don't know how to say that. I've tried before. I've probably got it wrong. Hero Blender, Everstaru, thank you so much. Welcome everyone who's tuning in. AJels04 is here for 8 months. Thank you so much, AJels. I hope you have a good time hanging out with us here today. Yes, I am just like bang in the middle of doing stuff over here already. I need to get some buckets. I need to get some blocks. Okay, so I need water. I need more of these walls. And hoppers was the thing I just went and made a bunch of. This is all for our resin project. We got Ember Ella here for 11 months. Thank you, Ember Ella. Almost a year. How's your day going? Pretty good. I sort of had some rough sleep and then just woke up. Went for a walk early on. I've been fine. Feeling all right. My sleep's been so good lately that now when I have a rough day, it doesn't really like feel like much. It's just like, oh, okay. Somewhere around here, when I was working on this earlier, I had an ender chest. I think it's over there. Spend so much time just like wandering around looking for stuff, and even though I try to be organized, I just end up doing it anyway, it feels like. Alright, I do need one more furnace. And then we need access to a crafting bench, and then there's just like an ender chest here. Craft up some walls. Very good. Water walls. What else did I need? Welcome to everyone tuning in. Lots of hellos and heys and how you doings in the chat. Do I like Oasis? I do. Morning X, I just pulled into work after driving through 4 inches of snow coming down. Perfect timing for the soothing tones for next stream. Dang, snowing. That is wintry. That is Christmassy. Lord Belsav says, "Hi X, don't look behind you." I won't then. I won't look behind me. Okay. Why did this have to start just as I went to school? Oh, because you know, I just want to annoy people. I'm like, I'll start streaming when someone goes to school, which is quite likely considering how many schools there are in the world in different time zones. How clever of me. How conniving of me. Oh, I'm streaming right as someone goes to bed because they live in that time zone. Alright, so yeah, go up there. Furnace, that was it. Furnace. One more furnace. I was thinking it's a shame the resin doesn't work with the blast smelter. I don't feel like I have a reason to use the blast smelter. It's probably useful early, like very early game, but once you start setting up farms and stuff, the blast furnace doesn't really get a lot of love. I thought it'd be cool if there were more uses for it, and maybe resin could have been one of those, right? That could have been a use. But no. Mojang don't want us to have fun! That's truth right there. That's absolute truth. How dare you stream at the perfect time for me to listen and build Lego? Oh, cool, doing some Lego. Sounds like fun. Do you have any advice to reset your mindset after a bad start to your day? Well, the fact that you know that you got to reset your mindset, I think, is a good indicator that you're paying attention to yourself and thinking about you know, what's going on up there. So that's great. But it's more about like it's tough, right? Even though you know, okay, bad start to the day, something happened, something put you in a bad mood. How do you break the spell of a bad mood? I think that's probably quite an individual thing, and probably like it's a lot tougher to do than it is to say, because moods can be very powerful and strong. But if you work on being less attached to your moods, that can be helpful. But I think like the most immediate thing that's possibly quite universal is to put on some happy music. And it can be annoying, it can be quite difficult when you're moody to like put on some happy music, right? Oh, I don't feel like this, I want to listen to The Cure or something moody, you know. But put on some cheery pop music, right? And don't think like, hey, I'm now going to be in a good mood. Just tolerate it. And after a while, I imagine your ability to tolerate, to resist, will diminish, and then it'll start to win you over a little bit. And then before you know it, you'd be like, what was I upset about again? Hopefully. That's what I would go for, some music. You're in the middle of rehearsing for your concert. Good luck with it. Yes, you're streaming as I go to bed. Hello from Australia. Oh, I'm always spiting those Australians, aren't I? Why does he live in the other part of the world? Oh, just such a rude streamer, aren't I? No consideration for people. You know, what if I start considering the Australians? Then the Brits are going to be like, oh, he's just streaming when I go to bed now. I'm messing. Thank you, my dude, for tolerating my silliness. It's so fun I got to the market square to add to my museum street. Is that the Lego? I forgot whose message was the Lego one. I like watching these Hermitcraft compilation videos of funny no context moments. Always cheers me up. Yeah, that's a good one as well. Comedy, right? I've done that recently where I've had a bit of a bad day, or maybe not even a bad day, maybe just like an average day. But then I start to think like, I should watch some comedy. I should watch something that makes me laugh. Like if you haven't laughed in a while, do something that'll help you have a laugh again. It's good for your soul. I listened to some Carl Pilkington, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, good old best of XFM the other day. That I think I will never tire of them. If you force me to listen to them all day long, you know, but I don't listen to them all day long. Whenever I put them on, always a good laugh. Ye old envelope is here for 23 months, almost 2 years of derpage, 1 month away, my dude. Thank you so much. And the legendary Couplex here for 92. Closer to the 3-digit number. Indeed, my dude. We'll see you in Evil X's dungeon before long. Thank you so much, Couplex. Appreciate it. Got me a good cup of tea here. Thanks for taking the time to reply. I do tend to let my emotions take over. It's hard to snap out of, says Shiro-san. You're only human. You're only human. I practiced meditation in the past. And it was really like an eye-opening experience, but a difficult one to keep up with. And I've just started meditating again. I'm on like a 2-week streak. But I'm really like in a better headspace overall to appreciate what it is and stick with it. And I'm sort of relearning some of the lessons that I learned last time, and a lot of it's got like stuff to do with the attachment to emotion for me. Just noticing how there's this sort of state of feeling within yourself that if you really had control over, you wouldn't choose it because it can be negative or whatever. But the act of just like paying attention to what's going on in your consciousness really sort of dispels the magic of it a little bit, I guess. The illusion, if you want to call it that. I don't know. It's a very, very tricky thing to describe because it feels so subtle. But when you do a practice like that, you just, your emotion, you become a little less attached to your emotions, I think is the way I'd describe it. Oh, I completely understand the whole time zone thing. The server. I'm the only Brit while everyone else is an Aussie or an American. So I never have time to interact with. Silver lining means less distractions so I can focus on my farms and mega build. When I joke about these time zone things, it's not really about being in a different time zone. For me, it's more just like, I don't know why people remark on that. But that's just where I'm different, I guess. Like, I don't... Like, I don't know. I just don't think to say stuff like that. So it always seems a bit odd to me. It's like, well, look, well, of course, you know, like, of course I'm streaming when you go to school because someone's got to go. Like, this is what happens when you have crowds of people. Like, it'll be someone's birthday today, you know, like it happens. Adam Iron Ore, 6 months. It's been 6 months already. Doesn't feel like it. Time goes quickly, doesn't it? Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. Half a year. Wow. I just popped in and I hear a lot of it has to do with attachment to emotion. Man, I love extra streams always dropping those wisdom nuggets, says Pixie Batter. Well, you know, I'm always on a journey for it myself. Like, I'm just a student of doing derps like that. I thought I had it all secured, but I don't. I think we've avoided any major damage here. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Didn't spill out into some redstone. No, I'm always just trying to work on myself and find better ideas, better ways of being and feeling to, like, occupy one's mind, I guess. So, over here, this is where we are going to have to put in an extra ice block. It doesn't quite line up perfectly, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm just a student of all this stuff, I think is the way to word it. And it's a constant curiosity of mine. Because the power of an idea, you know, can transform your life. Are you going to find that idea that transforms your life? Probably not, you know, when you want it. Probably not today or tomorrow, but I don't think you're going to have that big transformative idea that all of a sudden turns everything upside down or whatever. But I do think if you spend time, over time, you know, a little bit every day working on that kind of stuff, eventually you'll find tools and things that are helpful to, like, get you through. And some of the lessons that I learned last time I was doing meditation have really stuck with me for a long time. And now that I'm trying to get into it again, I'm having a much better time because I've sort of waited until my head's in the right spot to give it a go again. We can't seal this bit off because I need to go do the kelp thing. So there's that. Okay, a little light source, then the next one goes in. But I think we get to sort of pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're a little bit shy. So we'll just pick a block roughly in the middle. And we'll double... Oh, no, wait. There's something really important to do here. So I need the water stream to align on this side. Oh, maybe we won't do it quite like that then. Okay, let's have a look. I guess... Yeah, no, I think I know what I'm going to do here. Just try and map it out a bit. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'd have a piece of ice here. And then we could go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we wouldn't even have to think about it going that way. Alright. Alright. Let's line this up a bit better. We did count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One goes here, and then where are we at? Need some more stone. Do I need anything else? Water. Always the water. In that case, need a couple extra bricks before I wander off to get more. I don't know. This is sort of topic, but how do you like your time on? How did you like your time on the Empire and Skips podcast? I love it. It was amazing to be on there. And I think I have a sort of neurotic brain, maybe. Oh, this isn't actually 100% where I wanted it to be, but that's probably going to be okay. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a bit of a maybe neurotic tendencies, I think, that I need to keep in check or whatever. And I think when I was on the podcast that day, I was probably not in the best frame of mind. I was really like stuck in myself and the past, I think, that day, because we talked a lot. Like, everything that I do was like relating back to the past and years that I'm not fond of in my life. And I don't think that has to be my story, right? Like, it's not always about that. And I think on that day I was just really kind of like stuck in like how everything where I am now comes from back then, and so there was a lot of that in the discussion. And I think if we were to you know, do that episode over today, I would be not really talking about that stuff so much. I think Skiz is always really interested in people's past. Maybe a combination of that too. Possibly. I definitely felt like I projected a lot of that on that day though, right? Being in a constant state of evolution is Smith. SMTH? I don't know what that is. We should all strive for it, I think, but when life is so hectic, it's really hard to stay focused on. I like listening to your streams to hear you talk over your thoughts more than watch you play, although I love watching you play as well. Just because you're good at tickling my brain. I think we think along the same lines, but I don't often have time to stop and get my brain in the right state to be thinking more deeply. See, sometimes you just express yourself and like you literally say the thing without knowing it. Like, you've said it there. You need time to stop, right? So like, give yourself that time. Like, clock it in. Make a note in your calendar. Maybe, I don't know what you think that amount of time is, but what about 10 minutes a day where you're like, I'm just going to go sit and breathe. Obviously, it might sound like I'm hinting at meditation, but just like sit and slow down. Like, literally just give yourself some time to let all the things going on in your life like drift away for a little bit and be like, just gonna have 10 minutes to like sit and think about stuff, you know? SMTH equals something. Oh, okay. And not only do we all strive to evolve as people, like, we've got to remember we're human and that you'll fall off the horse and then you've got to get back on again at some point. So it's like, it's never going to be a perfect, consistent pursuit. Animal says they tend to ask questions about that though. Maybe, I guess it's like how I've remembered it. So if I went back and watched it again, I might be like, oh, okay, fair enough. Like, they are sort of asking about that. But yeah, I guess as time goes by, you get more comfortable in your own skin. You know yourself better. And for me, it just feels like I'm just a bit more forward thinking these days, right? Less concerned or like defined by the past. Wait, when was resin added? I mean, when was resin added, guys? When was it added? By the way, they had resin in the April Fool's update, and they had resin ore, and they had some other stuff in it. Toxic resin, was it? It sort of looks a little bit similar to what they've added here. The brain needs to kick in again. I need to remember what I was coming over here to fish out. Apparently watching your awesome stream made it so I received a gift code for a mask on Minecraft. Who knew? They do lots of promotional stuff like that these days, and I don't really enjoy trying to keep up with it. It's extremely difficult to sit and breathe though, just feels overwhelming to me, though I'm getting better at it. What's overwhelming about it? Like, is it because you notice how crazy your brain is when you like stop? It's like, this thing doesn't shut up, what's going on up there? It just keeps talking and I've got to do this thing, I've got to do that. Why am I thinking about something that happened 10 years ago? The mind is a maniac. So that's one of the things about this mindfulness meditation is that thoughts arise, and when you pay attention to that, you kind of become aware that like you don't choose any of this stuff. It just keeps popping into your head. So, you know, a simple task is to try and not think a thought. And if you think you're doing that, you're probably not, unless you're some sort of meditation expert. And when you try and not to think and you realize you kind of see like you're not in control of this. It's like this is an automatic process. Like we identify with our thoughts. We think it's us thinking, yet the act of trying to not think is so difficult. If you might get like a few seconds of it when you first start, but then after that, it's hard to sustain. And these things pop up into your head, these thoughts, and it's like, well, who's thinking then? If I'm trying not to think about anything, why can't I not stop thinking about stuff? All right, so the next thing I need to do is put in a lot of hoppers underneath the furnaces, going in that direction. And if I do the kelp thing now, and get a little more glass up there, we might actually be able to, when it's nighttime, just swipe a few bits of resin and bring it over into the system. So kelp is now on the agenda. Where is kelp? Which one is it in? I really thought it was in here somewhere. Blue. Oh, the coral stuff. Milk the Moose! Thank you so much for 4 months of support, my dude. Very much appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream. The noises in the ear aren't coming through again. Don't know what's up with that. Going to redo my stream setup. I'm looking into what tools to use and stuff. Actually, I really need to have started that already, but keep getting distracted. Going to make one more episode of Hermitcraft before Christmas. Don't think a pink elephant, says Everstrew. That's a good example. Pixie Powder says that's a good idea. 10 minutes is doable, even for people who think it isn't. My problem is that I always want more time. So if I only have a few mins, I feel like there's not nearly enough to delve into massive AMT that's in there. I would say like these 10 minutes that it sounds like you want to deal with some big stuff, like you got some stuff to think through, but it's hard to like find the time. Like let me imagine that you got a busy life, and so you wanna go for, like, I would go for a walk and listen to some music and think or whatever, but maybe like you just got a lot going on, it's really hectic, so putting aside 10 minutes we can do that. But then it's like, okay, you got so much stuff that you want to think about. I think our relationship to time is better looked at when we think qualitatively over quantity. So it's about the quality of those 10 minutes as opposed to a quantity of having more than 10 minutes. So what I'm getting at is, like, you might have a lot of stuff that you want to chew through, but it's probably better to just focus on having a little bit of like quality time to think about that stuff than to get worried about getting through all of it. I think there's soul sand there. Hey, that worked out. Oh, look, there is. I approach meditation that it is not thinking but acknowledging thoughts and letting them go, and returning to some center point or mantra or something, training the brain to be able to let things go and get to a calm spot. That's similar to what I'm doing. I'm doing mindfulness meditation, so there's a lot of that like observing, but it's also just trying to better get a feel for like what your conscious experience is, which sounds like a strange thing, but as you start to like develop like a better sense, it kind of so far it feels like the side effects, air quotes or whatever, of doing this practice for me have just been like, I've been a bit better concentrated, a little less neurotic, more well centered in how I feel. And it's a weird thing because it doesn't feel very direct. It doesn't feel like, you know, there's a line between these two things. It's just seems to be the current side effect of it all. What is a Hermitcraft? The only words I understand are festive lancer. Okay, so Hermitcraft is just the name of our group as a Minecraft multiplayer server. That's essentially what Hermitcraft is. Hopefully I've answered your question. Got a long history, been doing this for over 12 years together. We've had people come and go, and I think sort of post-season 4 and 5 is kind of where the core of our group kind of came together and has been rather consistent since then. Where am I looking? I'm like looking around this thing above me, and it's like, oh no, it's down below. Like if I could relate everything we're saying to something maybe that makes a bit more sense to you, is that in this line of work that I do, I have a lot of ideas but not a lot of time to execute them, and that often makes, or at least in the past has made me quite kind of I don't know, like feeling something similar to anxiety, where you're just constantly trying to move towards the next thing and then get that thing done so you can do this thing. And for all these ideas and things that I want to do, I've realized the pace of getting them done is much slower. And so if you like relinquish and let go of that feeling of like needing to do stuff and just enjoy whatever's in front of you, it's a lot easier to manage. So the past month or so, the projects that I've been doing, like the dodgeball arena, let's see, the potion factory, now this resin farm, the murals at spawn chunks, there's a few other loose ends we've tied up as well. All of that stuff I kind of wanted done in like a week so I could move on to the next big thing. Oh my god, dang it, I need more glass. And it's taken me like so much longer, but that's because I'm being realistic now. It's like, I know it's going to take longer. And then I actually put like more passion into these projects because I'm not focused on trying to wrap them up. I'm trying to like make them excellent, if that makes sense. Like the murals, I could have like tried to whiz through all of that, and instead I've taken my time with it, and I think that it's worked out better that way. Hopefully you'd agree. I find everyone has their own way to relax and meditate. Some like to listen to music, some enjoy long walks. Mine personally is playing an audiobook while doing a jigsaw puzzle, like the other day. I need a distraction from my health issues, so I completed a 3K jigsaw puzzle while listening to the Trials of the Apollo books. I don't think that's meditating. I think that's like getting into something similar to a flow state. You're getting yourself into that good headspace where you're just focused on the thing you're doing and feeling good. I have a playlist of music for that. And when you mentioned like listening to music, one thing I wanted to do is actually like meditate with that music on at some point. I don't know when I'll get around to that, but it crosses my mind when I listen to it. The music on my playlist, like a lot of it is Dream State Logic. That has just been like, I don't know, just this perfect sort of sound and tempo and atmosphere for just like honing in on doing something like a puzzle, just giving your brain that like focus mode. It's like the perfect for it. Meditation and ADD brain are not super compatible. I think like like they're not compatible, but I think that might be even more of a reason to try it, because like the ADH brain and where you're trying to go with meditation, if you've got a regular brain, they're both like both brains want them to go in the same direction. It's like becoming less neurotic, less distracted, more focused, more relaxed, more calm. It might even be a good idea to try it, but it'd probably be even harder and further to go. And what's really weird about meditation is it literally feels like you're pushing a massive boulder up a hill and you're going like a millimeter a day. You would love to see my playlist. Well, there's Dream State Logic on it. Signs of Life. Oh, let me think. 1 Degree Arc. It's all stuff that I've written about on my music blog. Time Crystal, I think, is on there by Andrew Odd. There's quite a few Andrew Odd songs on there. I found a set of space-like music that helps me meditate, even with ADHD. The space-like music is what we're talking about right now. And you found a guided meditation video that suggests things instead of like fighting forks, acknowledge them and let them pass. That's what I'm doing, by the way, guided meditation, and that's very similar. Like it just gently reminds you if you're carried away by thought, let go of it. Finrailwis, thank you so much for the 38 months. Good morning, afternoon, and have a wonderful holiday season. Thank you, my dude. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking very much forward to it. I could go ahead and place like more glass around here, but I don't think I will for the time being. Like, I really want to turn Loglands into something special for the rest of the season, and that'll involve like probably tidying up every little detail here and there. But yeah, once we finish the potion factory, we are hunkering down in Loglands and bringing the vision to life. We at the end? No, we've got a long way to go. Once you've found calm in meditation, how do you not get hit by the return to the chaotic reality once you get back to your day? Oh, you do though. You do. Like I said a second ago, it's like you're pushing a boulder up a hill a millimeter a day. It's like this unbelievably slow progress, but like over the course of a couple of weeks, you'll notice that you go from, you know, you'll get like a second or two here and there of something that feels peaceful or whatever. So when you finish your meditation session, you kind of know you got to go back to your day. Like, you can't sit around meditating all day. Some people pursue that. So it's kind of accepted, but like you have to let go of all of that way of thinking while you're doing the practice, and then it's just there a lot more passively. You just, when you take stock of like how your day's gone, you might notice, you know, just kind of like more focused and less distracted, and maybe only by like small amounts, but it's made a difference. All right, there's a reason I brought iron with me. We're in Loglands. We should have no trouble finding logs or chests, right? Got to remember where they are though. This one is like a big culprit for locking up. And I had a thought earlier today. It shouldn't be, in theory, it shouldn't be too difficult to add like a reset or like a toggle. The only thing is like where to put it. I think you want it to run over the top. And it would have to be a direct line of redstone that goes to one of these things. I can't remember which one it was, but I think it was this one here. I don't really have a way of verifying, do I? Oh, I need to verify. It's the third one in, right? Yeah, okay. That's good. That's good. Do have ender pearls here. So yeah, something I might want to add is like a fix it button, so that it will just come back here and do that. That's all you need to do to fix it if it breaks. I said. Oh, I guess sometimes it breaks in different ways. If I'd have checked that first, we might have done a little better then. Right, I'm going to go chuck that back over here. You was watching a YouTube video on the most disturbing songs ever made, an iceberg, before I was rudely interrupted by X-Waffles, says Becca. Any good? Those iceberg videos are interesting to me. I'm very, very aware and sort of dubious of, like, content for content's sake. And sometimes that, like, content can come from a place of ignorance. Because I've seen stuff like that where it's like, oh, you clearly just read a Wikipedia article. There's way more to know about this topic. And then sometimes it's like taking something that's maybe not actually that interesting and doing the whole kind of, wow, this is so amazing. You know how it is. You know how it is on YouTube. It's like, the insane genius of Eminem's rhymes. And it's like, well, if you're really into Eminem and you think he's brilliant, you'll probably enjoy whatever they got to say. But it's like, is it insane genius? I don't know. There's a lot of like over embellished hype in the clickbait world, and unless like the thing is really your thing, do you know what I mean? Now this is a near 3-hour long video, and I'm 30 minutes in. And I've learned loads. Cool. What were some of the songs that would come up on that listing? Because, and I guess there's like, you know, songs about like crimes that actually happened and stuff. I can certainly think of like musicians that did crazy stuff, but like specifically songs, it's like I've probably learned or know of a few crazy things over the years, or like some metal band that wrote a song about something disturbing that happened or whatever. Like, I guess I can't picture quite what would be in that. Alright, so water is going to flow. Sorry. Resin will flow all the way across that. There is a little bit of a flaw to this. The fuel supply will take probably quite a while to stock up, and then it's kind of designed to go at maximum speed, hopper transfer speed, which is 25 furnaces. It feels like a bit much, but it takes 10 seconds to smelt an item, and items get transferred at 2.5 a second on a hopper, so that translates to 25 to have a consistent amount of resin flowing through. So then we need to build up our resin farm to match the pace of this, but then you need a fuel source that matches it too. And this thing kind of relies on supply a little bit. So you might argue, if you wanted to consistently farm this stuff, that you'd have to make your fuel supply a lot stronger. So at some point later, I might just end up attaching another fuel supply to this, because it just pulls from here where it used to go around in a circle. So if I wanted to, I could probably set up like something in this space or somewhere over there and like cart some items around. I don't know. Just things to think about. X, is the winter drop all you hoped for, or did Father Christmas miss the mark? The winter drop is excellent. I like it. It feels a little smaller. I think the one thing they maybe could have done a little better was the creaking mob. The fact that it's like nighttime only and that you can't control it with redstone kind of limits, I think, a little bit some of the fun you could have had with it. It's also adding a nighttime only farm to the game. Phantoms is another one. It's not the worst thing, but in multiplayer communities, it's like, yeah, people want to skip the night. They want to skip the night. It's covered pumped up kicks. I know that one. One Hurt, Polly, Kim, and more. Vintage Thief says anything by Cannibal Corpse, I assume. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Cannibal Corpse songs is that they're a bit like comical and like cheesy horror. But like, if it Slayer have this song about Ed Gein, and like that's a whole rabbit hole. Like, if you don't know who Ed Gein is, the song's called Dead Skin Mask, which points you in the right direction, unfortunately. Like, if you don't know who he is and then you go learn about him, that's a whole rabbit hole that's like, you know, one of those crazy, oh my god, I can't believe this happened icebergs. As for Cannibal Corpse, though, I'm not off the top of my head aware of like direct relations, but I'm sure they're inspired by that kind of stuff. I feel like the creaking shouldn't respawn if you name them. Yeah, little things like that that could help you just do a bit more with them, because they feel quite restricted in the way they disappear. I don't think that they should stay in the world forever. It's just if they were set up a little different, they could have a little bit more room to be maneuvered and have some interesting things done with them. I'm sort of losing track of what I want to do. I tell you what, I kind of want... Oh, I haven't set this up, by the way. Let's do that. I kind of want no sleep because we want to use this in a minute. I see Joel is using the mod. That's good. I think the no sleep thing works if you don't have the mod, but most of the hermits use the status mod, which is awesome. Okay, I'm just at this point. I'm just shuffling around items in my inventory. Like, what do we do next? So I got to remember that any that flows over needs to drop down into here and go into another little contraption, which will mostly just be storage. So while I've got a few things, let's set that up. So we're gonna store resin, then we're gonna auto-craft resin. I could probably do the auto-crafting thing. I wonder if I could do it in survival. Create a proper auto-crafter, because I've built a bunch for this project. Let me have a think. See, items will get... Once the furnaces fill up, items are going to get to the end and come through faster than that. So they're gonna sort of be throttled. Which definitely means I need more than one of these contraptions, but I don't know if I would know how to calculate just how many, because you have a bunch of stuff, redstone events happening that will create a certain amount of time delay that'll be impinged upon this thing. I like the drop. The resin is an awesome addition, but farming creakings is going to be such a pain on a larger server. Really? Oh, do you mean because of nighttime? Yeah, because of nighttime, yes. However, they are very easy to farm at scale. Pixie says, I am to do an assessment for autism because I suspect my ADHD may have been given a misdiagnosis. I never answered anything, but so much makes sense through the lens of autism. I don't want to self-diagnose, though. I see it in my son as well. And I'm thinking, if I get... It'll be easier for me to him to get a referral. Yeah, I mean, go get it checked out. Find out, like, if you think it's going to help you, like, you should totally do that. Now you can only craft one thing with resin, because then you can just add a clock to it. No need to detect anything. That's a good point. I did it lazily already, and it kind of doesn't make sense to not... In fact, my experiments showed me so far, this with the farm at this current size... Hey, it's nighttime. Yeah, this showed me that 3 of these in a row works. Possibly more if I scale the farm up, which it is absolutely built for. Oh wow, they are still all spawning. I must remember at some point to add lights. Lights to the platform somewhere. Do you know, I have a book in my inventory for this, and I don't use it enough. So, wasn't there something like right at the beginning? What was the thing at the very... We were like over here and I mentioned needing to do something that I'd probably forget. Can't remember. Can't remember. Oh, I know what it was. It was down here. Okay. There you go. 2 little jobbies. Right, get wrecked, you lot. Get absolutely wrecked. I still think there might be room to optimize this farm. Am I aiming? No, I'm not aiming at it. Now I am. Alright, we need to pay attention to where the resin goes. Here we go. So far, so good, right? We're going to go up okay? Oh, it looks like we're all good. Now the alignment thing. Yeah, it's aligned correctly. What would you know? And then more and more resin will come along. Very good. There'll be no fuel in there as of right now, I guess. Also, I don't know how much is going in, because the first hopper is still picking stuff up. I'm not clicking as fast as I could. I don't have an auto clicker set up for this. And those get grouped together, but it kind of looks like not a crazy amount each time. So the farm needs expanding, we know this. Chest boats are kind of the meta thing on Bedrock for sorting mass amounts of items. Yeah, they can be useful. Not here though, because we're just using one type of item. So yeah, all of that works just a charm, really. If you hit a minecart instead, no weapon damage. Is that real? Does that pass on the sweeping edge? That is an interesting idea. Didn't I have some... I had some iron on me earlier. FrunoCraft showed it. Fruno knows his stuff. So, in Fruno we trust. Oh my god, I just remembered. I was watching the recap, and... Okay, oh, this is a non-Minecraft thing that goes in the book. Apparently Doc built a NemBomb design, and NemBomb doesn't, as far as I know, hasn't uploaded videos for Minecraft in a long, long time. And then I suspected, please don't tell me I've been unsubscribed and like NemBomb is still cranking out some amazing videos, because oh, that would just be like, YouTube, why? Let's go do that. Let's check it. So like 1699. Oh, wait a minute. So you need something to redeploy it, which isn't like the worst thing. That's a fun little contraption, if anything. The only thing I'd say is that, like, you probably want the hopper directly under the rail, so then your dispenser needs to be side on, and then the symmetry of this little area down here completely changes, right? Also, does the swipe get passed on from here? Should have checked. Not from that position. Then we got a door in the way. I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna experiment. I feel like that's gonna be a bit of a sidetrack right now. What are they called again? Creakings. I'm literally one right now. Let's also add video there. Oh, I got my little list of things to do is growing. Isn't that nice? Blue Raven 768, thank you so much for 23 months. One more than 2 years. Oh, then it's 2 years. Love being a part of this wonderful derpy community. Hope you have a great holiday season. Thank you, my dude. I hope you have a good one too. We also got Tilda MC coming in saying, hey X, any Christmas plans? Yeah, time with the family, right? And taking time off from work. Thank you for using your Prime on me, my dude. Appreciate that, thank you. What does no weapon damage do for us, says Not Moss? I guess it means you don't have to put in like an XP repair station or worry about this thing soaking up a bunch of durability and breaking, right? That's generally the gist of it. I'm going to leave these things out here for later. So we were going to set up a crafter, and then I realized that my spam... I say I realized, someone in chat prodded me in the right direction. That's what they did. So... the proximity to other things here is a bit of a concern. I think I can get away with putting 3 hoppers in a row, point them into droppers facing downwards. It's just that there is the one thing to watch out for, but I was gonna put them here. No, I don't know if they pick up ice from that side or not. Like, that's why it's laid out like this. They can be picked up by the hoppers. So do I put ice on this side and hoppers there, or the other way around? I'm not sure. I guess this is probably like a test it moment. I've been using a different installation to test stuff in my test world because the server is on a different version. I've said this before, but I'm glad to know I'm not the only one using a book and quill to keep my notes in order. Dan, I didn't do it for the longest time, but now every time that I do it, I like the fact that I did it, so I'm going to keep doing it. Oh, not moss, you figured it out. Yeah, no damage to the weapon's durability. That's what we're looking at. Nembomb's last YouTube video was 3 years ago, says Tilda MC. Thanks for doing that research for me. I'll open up the book and do that. Yeah, okay, so Nembomb still does stuff. I reckon maybe Nembomb doesn't do that, and I think they don't do the carpet mod anymore because they're now a Mojang employee, right? So maybe that's why there's no content like that anymore. Let's see. Chat, I'm going to rely on you to tell me that you can see this right here in our test world. Let's... I can just do a quick test where I am. Destroy it all later. So, we want water, ice, glow lichen. Okay, let's do that. Then we had like hoppers back here, right? That's kind of the idea. Something like that. You can see, good to know, good to know. Cheeky login with the alt account. Not the alt account, I'm just using a different client. That's all. That might be the wrong side. Yeah, it is. Oh, I guess I want... Yeah, I want all of that cut off, really, don't I? Alright, so we do that, then we got... I should make this more... Just make it more like the thing that you're doing, just in case there's something you haven't thought of. So, let's go back and put those in. Right, so I chuck some items in. They need to be aligned, so... Let's go ahead, get a chest. Those explosions, by the way, are from my farm that's running nearby. So then we'll take a bunch of those. They get aligned, they go across. Then they stop there. That's quite possibly a very clear sign of what's about to happen next. Oops, okay. Right, so I need the hoppers at the front. Okay then. Right, let me know if you can see me again here. So if I need hoppers at the front, then it goes closer to this thing, which then means I need to weave that around, but that's probably not going to be a problem. Probably not a big deal, but now we know where this is supposed to go. Alright, and I'm probably going to need more than that. I think I'm going to need to bring this thing down a touch before we add any redstone. Or maybe not, I don't know. Just 2 of those. And then to power 3 in a row. Yeah, no, I need them to attach to the crafters. So we want something like that. Okay, with that, I think we can get the job done. You can see. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is being shown, says Heartful Lights. Oh, I was just doing some testing to find out what's going to happen here. So we need ice at the back, is the idea. Should probably fill that in as well. Okay, so then 3 hoppers here pick up the items. Then they will feed into crafters that need to be facing the other direction. So like 1, 2, 3. Then they can go into like a barrel with a hopper under it. And then stuff can fill up into chests eventually. I don't know why a barrel, but I've just decided that they should be barrels. You just had a curry samosa. That sounds lovely. I had me a salad. Gonna have a curry later today as it goes. Homemade curry. Don't really do the takeaways anymore. Have you ever done a video where you go back through and tour your testing world and reminisce on both and how much you have learned and also how the game has changed over the years? Yeah, I have. The problem is, I do that and then 5 years go by and then I do it again and then another 5 years go by. Like, I've done a couple of videos a long time ago now where I went back over my original test world and stuff. Like, I've been doing this stuff for like 13 years, I think. And the channel's got a long history of content now, right? I don't think I'm going to add much storage here because... Oh wait, didn't I just skip an entire step? Wait. No. We've got the crafters. I can't see the crafters. Okay. Getting distracted by these questions. Also, why does it feel like there needs to be... Yeah, there needs to be blocks there. Okay. Good to know. But the crafters are there, so we can't forget about that. The crafters put the items... Okay, so actually I'm kind of on the right track with what I'm doing. It's just that eventually this storage will move somewhere else. Like, downwards a bit more, basically. So yeah, my original... Like, if you're asking that question, I'm going to doubt that you've been here this long. But, like, you can go back and watch the very first few videos on my channel or whatever. Like, it's a whole different thing, and that was a whole era in time where, like, 1 year in, I made a video probably, you know, reminiscing on, oh, wow, the original test world and all these cool contraptions that we've made over the last year in it. And then, you know, a few more years go by, and then it's like I make a different test world. I think my 100k subscriber special was like giving away a template for having your own test world based on that one. And then that test world filled up with stuff and got its own historical retrospective, right? And then probably 5 years went by and I felt like making another going and looking back. But now, like, so much time has stretched, there's like a whole plethora of content that I've made that, like, no one even knows about. Like, I think some people don't even realize that, like, I was... I don't know, doing redstone and helping make the first animal breeding machines. Like, that's just such an old conversation now, right? Like, the what? The first animal breeding machines? It's just like, there was a time when that got introduced to the game 13 years ago or whatever, and some of us in the community were trying to automate this stuff. But it just becomes the past. It's just like new people don't know your whole story and stuff. So, like, how many of y'all have been watching, like, put how many years you've been watching in the chat. Be curious to see. I'll be curious to see what's what. 4 and 8. 8's quite a big one, but I don't know when I stopped doing, like, redstone tutorials and, like, contraption videos on a regular basis, but if you're in, like, the 4 to 5 year category, I think you would have missed out on that period big time. 7 to 8, there's a few of you saying like 7 to 8, 10 plus. Back then you probably would have caught some of that era where I used to just, like, on a regular basis upload a redstone contraption, right? Maybe we could put a poll in here, if mods, if you'd be so kind. I think the simplest way for me to ask the question, these are supposed to be hoppers, is, do you remember when I uploaded contraptions I've made with redstone? Feel free to reword this because it's probably too long for a poll. But do you remember the era when I regularly posted redstone tutorials on my own creations? Because that I think is, like, what still feels to me like a big part of what I do, but it isn't to a lot of other people. I'm, like, probably now sort of like the update guy. Most of you probably know me as the update guy, and I'm also on Hermitcraft. And, you know, he builds little farms and stuff, but, like, some of you may not realize, like, a lot of these farms that I build other people's farms. I always, like, acknowledge that, but I love to do redstone myself, and I do have a lot of help from Cybot these days with doing some of the more advanced stuff, but I've always loved creating my own little contraptions and whatnot. And that was all I did back in the day. That was the original thing. I just made contraptions and shared them. Just 1 year, says Paperbird. So yeah, like if you're 1 year into my channel, you're probably completely unaware of any of that stuff. Don't forget the guitar videos. Well, that was an era too, right? That was like 2016. I did a lot of that. Then I took a break for a long time, and then it came back a bit again, and now I'm on another break. So, I swear if I've done this that poll wrong, I'll be sad, says Bear. Oh, don't be sad. It'll be all right. Whatever it is. Also, yeah, I'm a new viewer of yours. I've been around since season 6 or so, but only as a very sporadic viewer. I think season 6 you might have caught the tail end of me doing tutorials and contraption videos, but like at that point, I think like season 6 is probably when that started to slow down. And then I think by the end of season 7, it was a big irregularity. And also, if you've been around a really long time, there was myth busting. I was kind of tempted to do a myth busting episode. In fact, I planned on it. And then when my computer didn't boot up on Monday, that derailed my plans for that day, and I just haven't gone back to them. So I was going to make a myth busting episode, and then my computer didn't turn on, and then it kind of derailed that day, and then it meant a little less time to make it, and then the inspiration kind of wasn't quite there, so I didn't really do that. Oh, don't say myth busting is a really long time. That makes me feel old. That was last year, right? No, it was like 10 years ago that we did it on a regular basis. How is the computer now, says Windy Castle? It's permanently on. I won't turn it off. That is the current state of affairs. Right, I think what's going to happen when we reach this bit here is that we're going to shuffle this under and across. There's going to be a contraption down here, and then I'll deal with this later. So, I say that. I might want to rejiggle this a fair bit. In fact, I'm going to move this. There's a way to move this out of the way that I just didn't notice before, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to move it out of the way. Let's put those there and have hoppers pointing into them. That way, I'm now like just one block behind this here. So then the next bunch of hoppers, you know what, I'll do the rest later. I'm going to do that just to remind myself I've got this space. Okay, that is all. That is Loglands prepped for my next project in my episode, so I don't really need to do much else here now. We get to move onwards and upwards. So for the next phase of this stream, we will go elsewhere on the server. If you have a desired destination, let me know in the chat. I will read it when I get back, because I'm just going to take a quick nip to the loo. Don't make jokes about it in the chat. I have a bladder, so do you. Well, I guess some people don't have a bladder, dang. Do you remember posting regular Redstone tutorials? Wow. 41% of you don't. Also, why is Happy Holidays a category? This has skewed the results. Oh, I'm furious. I'm furious. It's all ruined. Right, I'm going to go to the toilet. I'll be right back. I saw a request for a Purdle. A Purdle Wordle. I think we'll save that for Sunday. Sunday I plan on doing a midday to evening stream somewhere around then. The thing is, I realized that I probably have time to make one more episode of Hermitcraft, and I was really inspired to do things. And I was like, all right, go on then. Let's squeeze in one last episode of Hermitcraft, because the last one was supposed to be my last video for the year. Nope, we're going to do one more. Decided. So right now, I would rather do stuff that contributes towards that, just so that I get it done, not in a panic, not in a rush, nothing like that. Get it done with plenty of time, that kind of thing. Be on top of stuff. And then, come Sunday, we can do all sorts of other stuff. Play Purdle? I think Purdle is just what we call Wordle, right? Not even a chair stream to keep us company. I know what you're referring to. You know, I'm not that high level, basically. Yes, X, touch grass is better. Yeah, that's the plat, basically. Get the episode done and touch grass. X, did you play Impulse's touch grass game? Oh, no, that's not what you meant. Well, Jeez, I'm out of touch. Apparently, Impulse has got a touch grass game. I've not played that. But if mini-games are on the cards, we could end up playing it, but not today. Not today. Today we are getting some stuff done. I've got a grindy thing that I need to do, a buildy thing, and I wanted to put a mural on the cards again, but we'll see. We'll see how much we've got time for. We'll hopefully get to that as well. Just chucking away stuff to be sorted later for now, I guess. And then the rest of that can go elsewhere. Yo, I really need to run a sort very soon. I have been leaving that thing running to stock up all of this. The silo still hasn't filled up. I'm quite concerned because this thing is pumping out bone meal, right? Last time I checked, wow, it's still just going all the way over here. This thing is super hard to spot, unless you see it from the right angle. Wow, okay. I feel like this thing does not fill up while that's running. Oh, it consumes more. It has to. It has to consume more. Oh, that's interesting. Right. This thing might have been running for a while with no bone meal in it. That side looks healthy. But yeah, this actually outpaces the bone meal farm. Where are we looking at? Somewhere over here? Wow. If it's empty on this side, it means it could have been running rather inefficiently. Oh, it probably has been. What would you know? Yeah, it's probably time to turn this off then. That's interesting. It might mean one side... Oh, look at that. Oh. Let's see what happens here. I think I know. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Stones coming out of it? Is that something that happens when it runs out of bone meal? Like, I understand that because you can see nothing's there to push it to be recomposted. I will probably need to tear the stone out of this farm. Wow. We don't want that. Let's go turn it off first. Okay. I've just had an idea. Okay. Yeah, no, okay, right. I don't need to look at anything else up there. We should add a system to detect when bone meal is low and turn this off automatically. That would be cool. Now let's go up there and get rid of some of that stone. I've got to be careful though because... Yeah, you don't want to mess with the water bottle here. I reckon this thing probably needs a bit of maintenance. Every now and then, something goes wrong with one of the water bottles, but it looks like it's good. I think I'll leave that alone for now. Let's get out of here. So that farm's off. This is still running. My camera account has been loading this place for the last 48 hours or so. Hey X, do you have favourite Xmas song thing you look forward to? Food, seeing family, Christmas, guitar jam, I'd like that. UK rain or any tradition. I like doing jigsaws with my mum and my granddad. At Christmas we do jigsaws. And I love it so much that every year I'm convinced that I'm just going to do one at some point throughout the year, but I never do. So that's one of my little holiday traditions, I guess, is to do jigsaws. Food, I love having a mince pie with some custard. And I have resisted every opportunity to have one already. I'm waiting until it's actually Christmas to have one. Then things like just watching some Christmas movies. I'll probably watch Jingle All the Way. That's my favorite. Or maybe Home Alone. Or maybe do a little search for a list. Maybe watch one I haven't seen as much or something. Like, I'll probably end up watching a Christmas movie. But then mostly the rest of it is just, you know, hanging around and being with family, right? So, playing some games or whatever will be a part of that. But yeah, as far as tradition goes, it's like a bit of a... I could say it's not unspoken. Like, every Christmas we organise getting a new jigsaw to do. So I think that would probably firmly be classified as like a little Christmas tradition to do. You're ready to watch Mickey's Christmas Carol for the umpteenth time. I don't think I've even heard of that movie before. What is a jigsaw? So a jigsaw is like a puzzle. Lots of little pieces that fit together, but they're all separated when you begin. And you'll usually have a picture of something that it's like related to. And you put it all together. I find it really therapeutic. Usually there's some television on in the background, or chatter, or you're talking about stuff. Like, it's like a nice activity to like hone in on, a simple thing to focus on. By the way, Netherwart Farm, I'm pretty sure on several... Oh, it just came back to me. Several times this season I've needed netherwarts, and I forget that I have this little room up here. Yep, that's how it goes, isn't it? The Wagsgy brand of jigsaw is my favourite. They always have an interesting twist. Yeah, I've been looking up like twists and stuff, so some of the ones we've done in recent years have been like different shaped pieces, done these like color gradient maps and like super difficult complicated ones, and then I've seen there's ones with like no edge pieces or extra pieces in the box, stuff like that. Am I in the Impossible Minecraft series? I am not. Die Hard 1 and 2 is Christmas movies. Maybe. I mean, I think of Christmas movie as being more about Christmas, not happening during Christmas, but yeah. I have this stream in the background while I'm grinding a boss in a game. Cool. Thanks for giving me half of your attention. Jeez. Gotta watch Love Actually every Christmas. Traveling home for Christmas on Saturday. Looking forward to it. Cool. Not sure if I've seen that movie. Do love my movies. Gangs of New York was the last one that I got through. Then I watched a little historical thing on it because I've seen the Gangs of New York before, but it hadn't piqued my interest the way it did this time. I got a friend who loves it. Like, whenever you're with friends and, you know, what movie do you want to watch kind of thing, like Gangs of New York would always come up. And watching it this time, I just had more of a mind for the historical aspect, and I wanted to know how accurate the movie was as a portrayal of that time. And turns out it's done a pretty good job of like giving you a representation of that moment in time. It's kind of not what I was expecting, but well, I say it wasn't what I was expecting. I know a fair bit more about that period in time than I probably did last time I saw the movie. I guess my mind just buzzed with way more questions of like, oh, what about this thing? What about that thing? And it turned out like a lot of it was pretty darn accurate, so. Oh, by the way, so up here, I want to put in another color. And I think it's probably just going to be grey, but that just doesn't look right to me. Although... Do you know what? Now that I know what I'm going to do with this space, I think I just need to turn them into windows. Yeah, okay, let's grab glass and the floor pieces, and let's show... I think I know exactly what I need to finish this thing. Now that it just occurred to me, just make them windows. Maybe put an iron bar in one of them or something. Okay, we'll take some of that. We'll take some of this. Iron bars will be in with the lights. That is their home. And then we need some oak slabby jabs. Need some oakage. Have I seen the Rubik's Cube puzzle? I have seen it. Yeah, these ones have things like the puzzle is actually 20 seconds after the box image, and you see funny events unfold. Oh, that sounds interesting. Does your family frame the finished puzzles or box them back up after? Like, being a kid, I don't know when all these puzzles got done, but my parents have a lot of like framed puzzles of really cool stuff, like a map of England with coats of arms from like 1640. There was one of the sky at night, all the stars. There's a few of them that have been like completed and framed, but then you can only have so many in a household, right? And they've just sort of been the same ones for as long as I can remember. So now what we do is we do a puzzle and then we pass it on. There's people that we can pass it on to. So each Christmas we buy 1 or 2 puzzles and then pass it on. It's kind of the tradition now. Here's the real question. Is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie or Halloween? I think you can ask the same thing of Edward Scissorhands, right? Is that one happening around Christmas a fair bit? I think it's Halloween, but like the way it can twist the two together is really cool. So I think you could maybe say it's both. Like, why does it have to be exclusive? What's my take on the emoji teas seasons update? Oh, I think I know what you're referring to. The Minecraft thing. My opinion on it, not a lot. Like, it's all about generating hype. I think the authentic days of Mojang, at least feeling authentic, are gone. It all feels very corporate now, so to me it's just like a move to generate hype. Like, they'll just lay down those little nuggets to get the community talking. So I don't get particularly excited about it because of that. It just strikes me as like a marketing move. Which I guess in essence it maybe always was, but like it just the nature of Minecraft back in the day felt so much more indie, and I really do quite miss that actually about it. It's very difficult. We talk about this a lot. It's very difficult to take people back to that time and give them the experience of what Minecraft once was, because it was, you know, an indie game that broke all the rules and changed the gaming industry forever. But no video can summarize going through that like day by day and being part of the Minecraft community and watching things change and evolve over time. Like, you'll never be able to recapture it. It's just, some of us were here for that long and remember what it felt like. This is kind of how it goes. Does anyone speak Spanish as the TV men? I think the Spanish population does in Spain. I think they speak Spanish, and possibly other people. Yeah, I'm pretty sure people speak Spanish, my dude. Just off the top of my head. I mean, don't quote me on it, but if you went to Spain, I think chances are you'd find some people speaking Spanish. That might be a bit of a wild leap, you know, but it's just my hunch. Just a hunch. Okay. I think I need to put some lights up there. I like the idea of using some soul lanterns near them. The creaking face is so derpy. Yeah, it is. It is. You wasn't expecting that result and you love it. Oh, I'm glad you love it. Gotta love some Sark, right? Let's check out the... Yeah, I think they actually... A couple of iron bars are pretty fitting, but we don't want to overdo it. So you're going to see like a pop of red in here. Now this window, I kind of feel like maybe should go back to that. Just have a brown back... I don't know. Maybe we'll make it part of this room. I kind of want to put like some contrasts in, I guess, breaking up these windows. So on the opposite side, we're not even going to see that, I don't think. So this bit will be completely separated. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll just make it one big thing, because it's going to be easier to do. Otherwise, I've got to figure out some other aesthetic for the room and stuff. You just get lost in details and... Ugh. Okay, let's hang these things like... where's the back of the room? It's going to be there, actually, I think. Back of the room is here. We'll put that in the corner. Very nice. Same thing on the opposite side, just got to get there. Oh, you know who's in Gangs of New York? I love spotting actors and stuff. Oh, one that surprised me was Cameron Diaz. I don't think I've seen her in a movie in like 20 or more years or something. And I was like, who is this woman? I'm sure I should know who her name is, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. So I had to look it up on my phone. Yeah, that's probably one of her best performances as well in Gangs of New York. But someone else who was in there was Stephen Graham, whose movies I love watching, or TV shows, whatever he does. I always enjoy his acting. And it's just fun when you go watch an old movie and see someone who's now, like, you know, well-renowned or whatever in a small role, that kind of thing. It's a lot of fun. You're going to hit your head against those lanterns? No, that's fine. I'm not really going to come up here. This is for show. It's all for show. What do you think about the EULA lawsuit? If it was a sensitive topic for the stream, I get it. My feeling is just, okay, you watched a video with one person talking and you didn't hear any other side of what they presented to you. Now, I'm not saying they're wrong or there's some ill intent or anything like that. I'm just very wary of how watching a video that just goes in one direction can be very convincing. So, I don't know what to make of it, really. And I'm certainly no legal expert. And watching people who are also not in the world of legality talk about it, to me, it's a little bit like, take it with a pinch of salt. You're right, Cameron Diaz did step away from acting for a while, says Jekaria. Yeah, for a long while. I can't recall when I last saw her in a movie. That's probably why I didn't, like, recall... Like, I kind of knew I should know this person is, but, like, I just couldn't because you hadn't seen them for so long, right? Like, they're sort of gone away. If people keep turning up in movies that you're watching, you've got a better chance of remembering their face, right? It's pretty logical. The Mask. Yeah, she was in The Mask. I was looking through the International Movie Database, and I thought... I don't know when I last saw that movie, but I was really young when that movie came out, and it just therefore has that little hint of nostalgia or whatever, right? Like, and I think at some point I'd like to watch that one. She was great in Vanilla Sky. I loved that movie when it came out, and then I watched it a few years later, I think, and it was... I can't remember what I thought of it. Like, did my opinion on it change or something? I want to watch that one again. I remember it being a bit of like a moody, dreamy, emotional kind of movie, right? Super nostalgic, says ADH. Super nostalgia. Speaking of the lawsuits, did you join the Tool Claims Court audience the other day? I did not. Was that for that whole Mojang thing? Please tell me more. That sounds super interesting. Super interesting. Right, that's the last of the iron bars, I think. Right, when Tom Cruise actually did drama. He's done a lot of action over the years, hasn't he? Whereas he did used to do a lot of drama. One of my favourite movies he's in is Magnolia. That is a gem of a movie. Kind of like a really grand, ambitious one that ends up, I think being like, it kind of loses a bit of mainstream appeal, if you like. It's like got a bit of an indie niche kind of vibe to it, but it's just like this glorious 3-hour epic that will just give you so much to think about. It's a really good movie. Highly recommend it. Right, that is actually the last room there because of the way the next part is going to connect, so... And then we put in our lights. My family does a Robin Williams movie marathon. Oh, I can't go wrong with Robin Williams. He's been in a lot of movies, though. A lot of movies. Gabes says, Tool Claims Court was Mumbo's Iron Shot. Oh, okay. Alright, Tool Claims Court. I should have caught onto that, right? Should have caught onto that a little quicker. Dang it, I'm such a silly goose. I was not there. I was streaming and people wanted me to go. They were like, you going to the Tool Claims Court? I'm like, what, you want me to stop streaming? I can stop streaming if you want. Well, I thought that's what you came here for. Right, let's go put in all the nether warts next. Cameron Diaz played Miss Hannigan in the remake of Annie 2014. I want to watch the original Annie and Oliver. Those are like childhood movies. I keep meaning to watch them at Christmas, but last couple of Christmases just haven't got around to it. Have I seen Concave? I don't know. Might have seen that one. Doesn't immediately ring a bell or anything. Xisuma does not want you to sleep. I know. It's me in the bed. I should probably turn that off while we're not over at the farm. That'll do. All the movies with red-headed orphans? Is that a category? Yeah, that looks... I think that's going to look much better from out here. Like, if you really pay attention and you see the nether warts, like, it all adds up because it's a potion brewing place. Now we've got to do the same thing on this side, I guess. Just for this little corner bit here, and then we'll move on to something else. It's not a real cave, it's a concave. Right, right. Okay, now I think I understand. That's the one with several stories that intertwine, says Joey. It is Magnolia, if we're talking about that one. And it rains frogs in that movie, which is just this incredible scene. How dare you sleep when X says no sleeping on the server? How dare I? How dare I ignore my own request? How rude of me. This build has been such a learning lesson. I really hope I hold on to the lessons that I've learned, though. I think planning is going to be a big part of developing from the things that we're learning here. We need to like plan ahead a bit more of these builds, but I think the sort of sketching it up before you build it idea is really good. I gotta try and do that at some point because I think that would have aided this build a lot. But hey, we're here now. We're having tons of fun, making it all come together. So I reckon it's gonna be like that because we're not actually gonna fill in that window. So. And then 2 go that way. And then we're going to need some more wall and stuff here. Great films those are. Semi-Yoda voice, you know. Do I watch Bake Off? I don't. Superman trailer anyone? Says Cuzzo. Nope. Superman, Batman, don't really care for it. Like, The Batman is now on Netflix, and I was like, don't watch that? Ah, I can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. Same old story over and over again. Okay. Get a bit more of that. I'm probably going to be like 1 block shy, aren't I? Is usually how this stuff works. Also, I need to leave myself a ways to get out of here. Oh, we're not actually 1 block shy. What would you know? That's not how it works. Bubeles says, might head out now since I have to get to work. See y'all soon. This is a first great stream. Oh, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. You see Zed's game show set? Yeah, it's down the back there. Right, that was good. Been wanting to do that for a minute. What I'm going to put on the roof of this is going to be absolutely amazing. I got something so cool, but it means I need to go get some particular blocks for the job. But yeah, you may remember there was some like shapely roof designs up there. Well, they're gone because that wasn't going to work out. I've got something better now. Not It's Waxy says this is the first time I've watched your stream. Well, thanks for tuning in, man. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you continue to enjoy it. Let's get organised here. That goes in there as well. Scaffolding I'll just chuck into there for now. Glass. And hey presto, inventory managed. Inventory has been managed. Somehow we did it. Right. Question for the experts in the chat. Silk Touch hoe. Actually, I'm not even sure if hoe is the correct tool. Do you know what? Screw you guys. Bunch of experts. Whatever. I can just do my own research. I don't need your expertise. I'll just Google the answer that I want to see. Then Google's AI assistant will probably. What did it tell me the other day? It was like I searched like how to replace the CMOS battery on the motherboard, and the AI generator thing came up with this answer of like your motherboard battery can be located on your motherboard, and I was like, yeah, cheers. I had a feeling it would be there. Stupid AI. God. Artificial stupid intelligence. ASI. That's what we're making. Let's go to dead coral. No, I want living coral. What am I thinking? Doral? I pressed the wrong key. Coral. Right, so in order to harvest coral, what is the correct tool? Does it tell me on this website? Coral is a blah 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 blah. Coral block, that's what I want. Tool is pickaxe. Okay, so Silk Touch pickaxe. Now, I think you need a beacon to speed mine it underwater, right? Ow! My beautiful face is being attacked! Rude! Oh, you're dead, okay. Okay. The I stands for idiocy. Artificial general idiocy. Yeah, AGI. Do we have a place on the server where we go to mine coral? I can't remember if I've done that this season or if I even set up a... I tell you what, I think the desert we go and mine at has a lot of coral stuff. So if I'm using my Silk Touch pick, then we might want a beacon, and we've got enough to make... Okay, I think we've got everything we need. What I will do is go repair my wings. Actually, I can probably get away with it. Ow, my face! Again. Conduit be handy. Oh, yeah, it's Conduit as well. I've watched a streamer introduce a search engine AI to tell them how much to use sawdust to make cookies. Yeah, because AIs can hallucinate, as they say. The thing is though, is like, so do people make mistakes. But like, we treat machines totally differently, and like, why wouldn't we? But I always find it interesting. Like, I watched this video the other day, kind of wailing on Tesla a bit about how its autopilot sometimes has crashes. And it felt like the whole time they're trying to make this point of like, we shouldn't have this because it crashes. But then they threw up some numbers at one point, and my immediately I just go to, and what do humans do? Like, okay, so let's say like 1 in 1,000 drives is a crash, which is probably like the wrong place to start numerically, but like, then how much is humans? Because what if humans was like 1 in 100? It's going to be the same thing with the AI stuff, I think. We're going to find it hard to quantify the mistakes it makes and like calibrate that against human mistakes. And I think a lot of people just have a general bias towards distrusting machines failure over human failure, right? Okay, so this is the place to do it, but we clearly need... Does conduit power give me the equivalent of haste underwater? I've played this game so long, I just can't remember stuff about it anymore. Just like people, it makes stuff up. If it doesn't know, says the Ocean Phoenix, yeah. To be fair though, like, wouldn't it be interesting if in finding a solution it could just tell you it didn't know sometimes? Like that would be an interesting answer to the hallucination. Instead of it hallucinating, it's just like, I don't know. Like you say like how do I bake cookies, and it says I don't know because sawdust is involved, and you're like, how do I bake cookies without sawdust? And then it goes, oh, and it just like boom, gives you all the correct information. How long, what ingredients. You get the benefit of night vision underwater with conduit power, it says. It's got the identical effect to haste as haste 1. Interesting. AI is as good as the data it's been trained against, as NF Grips. Yeah, that's true. The problem with AI will have is that eventually it will base its information on false information produced by other AI. Well, will it? Because it depends on like the oversight and the supervision of the AI, right? If you start training models on junk and trash data, then yeah, it might end up doing that. But then, if that's so, then the utility of the AI goes down, right? Like, surely there's an incentive to make sure it's trained on good data and stuff. I think I'm just gonna make a beacon because I don't think I keep looking for it and not seeing it, and then forget what I'm looking for. Should probably put it more in the middle. Let's think ahead a little bit, you know, maybe it goes down by 50 blocks, so height isn't really a concern. Also, like, how big is this coral? Oh, look, it's massive. Massive-ish. We could probably actually tear this thing apart. So I reckon around here somewhere is probably the middle. Let's start off with this corner. 1, 2, 3. Isn't that where we put the beacon right there? Right, now let's build the rest of it. I think in that video it was more in the direction that crashes could have been prevented if the Tesla didn't use cameras. You probably saw the same video. As the primary detection system, other manufacturers use radar and cameras in conjunction. Yeah, that's a good point. I felt like they didn't quite get to that, but that was the one thing I was sort of seeing in the video that felt quite agreeable, was that particular point, because the other lady in the video who was like, was she in Congress? She's in some sort of authoritative body of some sort, was really like rallying against the automated driving, it felt, from the ground up, and wasn't really talking about the cameras. But yeah, they were making the point about the cameras, right? And there's clips of Musk saying that it just doesn't make sense to use LiDAR, and that I think is the better point. But it didn't, to me, it didn't really feel like the way they talked about the whole situation made that the point. But you're right, it absolutely was in there. And that is a totally fair thing to critique, I think, because that is what we should be discussing, I think, is like the equation of automated vehicles is going to be like how we program it, how we train it, what technology we're putting it, translates into basically its success rate for how many people die as a result of it, right? Now, we know it's going to be better than humans in theory, but is it going to be better with just cameras, or is it going to be better with the LiDAR stuff? New beacon design, says Bebs. Yeah, like I just make that and then I'm off. I'm doing my thing. I just wanted to check and see if we needed haste 2 or haste 1. I've got a feeling we're going to build this and then need the conduit anyway. Conduit, they were one of those things that, like, when they first came into the game, like, for the first few seasons of Hermitcraft, I'd always have a bunch of them. And then as more time goes by and then you just don't do as much stuff with the corals, you start using other blocks, it's like there's so many like bits of infrastructure you need to do certain things that I just couldn't be bothered. It's got this other stuff to do first, so I haven't done that yet. Did I set this thing up for haste 2 though? I haven't got the turtle helmet either, yeah. AI isn't logic based though. It doesn't understand its own data. It produces random outputs and gets told this is good or this is bad. It doesn't know why or how, says Wandering Mask. Yeah, for the most part. Like, but it's still kind of like we're emulating how the brain works to create these things. And the problem is we can't fully explain our own consciousness or how we use logic and reasoning, right? Like, we're trying to emulate cognition to some extent when we can't fully explain why we have it and why we have a conscious experience. So some of the areas it's mysterious in are going to be mysterious to us too. Like, why do we reason the way we do and make decisions? You can't break down a human mind into math, can you? You can't lay it out the same way. Oh, I do like instant mining blocks, don't you? Now, I'm actually here just for the red ones, and I didn't bring a shulker box with me, but I can always craft one. So I do kind of want to focus a little bit on the red blocks. Those are the ones that I'm after. I don't know how much I'll need, but since we set up a beacon, I think we'll spend a minute here getting a plentiful amount. Also, humans react on instinct, e.g. car collisions, but with AI, you'd have to program it what to do in situations. Sure. But what is instinct? Like, you can draw some serious parallels between the human brain and this AI stuff. Like, what is instinct? Is our instinct not programmed? If you had never seen a car before, right, and you were all of a sudden driving one, do you think the human brain would know what to do all of a sudden? Or it would know to veer away from that other car coming towards you? You had to be trained on data, right? You had to see cars. You had to know what they were conceptually. Then you had to go through like a driving lessons. You had to be taught. Well, we're training and teaching AI models, right, to process what's out there in the world. And that's what we do with our brains as well. We have to learn what things are in order to process them. So there's all these like parallels where we have like a bias, I think, to just see ourselves as maybe superior, but it's more like it's what we're used to, so we're more comfortable with it. We're comfortable with humans crashing cars. We tolerate it. It's just a normal part of like being in this society. But we don't understand it at like a scale of numbers. Because when numbers scale up and they get large, they're very difficult for us to like properly get our heads around. So you probably don't think about car crashes statistically. Like, you've probably heard the anecdote that you're safer going on a plane than in a car, right? But like, how much safer? Like, do we know how to properly quantify that in our head? Even when we've got like data in front of us that tells us. Oh, I don't think I brought my bed with me. It can be hard to get your head around. So like these AI systems that can potentially automatically drive cars, they might already be air quotes safer than us, right? They might produce less crashes. But we have a hard time grappling with that, and we like look at the machine like it's different to us, yet a lot of how it's taught and trained to make decisions, like we sort of go through the same process ourselves. When a human learns what a car is, we can extrapolate out from that. LLMs can learn this image is like a car, but they don't know what a car is. They just know this assortment of pixels is confirmed to match their desired results. You in your head think you know what a car is, but like, what is it? Oh, you know, it drives you from A to B, or do you think it's 80% metal, 10% electronics? Like, you know, if I was smarter than that, I could break it down into some other materials, right? There's many different ways of looking at things. So if a machine learning can identify cars at a higher success rate than humans, like, do you still want to stick with that intuition that you have of like, oh, but we understand what it is conceptually? Whereas statistically, like, let's say, you know, I've got an AI system where I've trained it on pictures of cars, and I'll show, you know, people fuzzy images of roads with pedestrians and cars and stuff, and like, I'll show my machine as well. And what if my machine, my learning machine, came out with a better success rate, right? It's 10% better at detecting cars, like, but it doesn't know what a car is conceptually like we do. Does it still matter? Or does it matter if it means like being on the road is safer? And to be like really clear, I lean towards like that cold way of looking at it of like, yeah, it probably is better. And I think there's places where that argument can break down a little, where, you know, what if we design an automatic driving system, right, and it kills way less people? Like, you know, let's say the death rate of humans driving is like 1 in 1,000 drives, and this thing is like 1 in a million, but it's always a kid. It's like, why does it always crash into a kid? You know? Maybe there was a gap in its training data. It's perfect at dodging everything but kids for some reason. Like, and that's another component you could add to it. Like, how does it make decisions? Is it going to steer into an elderly couple or a crowd of children going to school? Like, that's an extremely rare edge case, but because it's a machine and we have control over how it's trained, etc., those are actually questions we could ask as a society and find answers for, right? So I think we probably naturally trust in those rare edge cases, and these probably are really rare. Like, if the other thing is, like, imagine yourself driving, all of a sudden, like, a truck comes out of nowhere and you swerve out of the way. All right, if there were a crowd of kids and an elderly couple, like, do you think you would have the time to even think about that? It might be that the computer does. The computer might think faster than us. We put a lot of faith in our own instincts and knee-jerk reactions. I like to break that down and say, well, actually, is that so? And I think what you'll find is that we're probably both equally mysterious. I don't think our experience of being human gives us this complete understanding of how our own minds work. I think a lot of us don't even know how our own minds work. Case in point, you know, try and sit and not have a thought for 5 minutes, right? You can choose to go make a sandwich and eat it. You can choose to continue listening. You can choose to click off this video. You can be like, this guy's talking nonsense. But can you choose to sit and not have a thought pop into your head for 5 minutes? Well, if the answer's no, who's in control there? Like, why? You know, so, like, there are mysteries of our own mind, and if we keep chalking up all of this AI debate to, like, to just defaulting to us as either superior or what we're comfortable with, I think we miss out on, like, looking at the real questions, which should be, we've got this technology, we're shaping it, how do we make decisions together on where it's going to go, what direction it's going to go in? I get a bit worried that we get bogged down in all this other stuff, which is like a bit of a misdirection. Japan already has pure AI roads. Mixed roads will disappear. They are unsafe. Really? I have not heard that. I thought I would have heard about something like that, because I love hearing about the implementation of automatic driving. To me, it feels like it's kind of like fossil fuels and nuclear energy. It's like One is clearly way better, environmentally speaking, because of how much less damage it does to our environment. But people can't, like, we seem to have these really bad intuitions because of dramatic stories that have influenced our understanding of risk and power and stuff around it. Like, the one that does way less damage to the environment is nuclear energy. But we tolerate fossil fuels because we're just now used to it and it's around us all the time. It's, you know, go outside and stand next to a busy road and breathe the air in. You're breathing in those fossil fuels. That's air pollution right there, right? And when you get into the statistics of all this stuff, it's like, wow, the amount of, like, damage we're doing to our air quality with pollution and stuff from fossil fuels, it's massive compared to what nuclear energy does. So it's things like, it's intuitions like that I think we struggle with a lot. And for me, automatic driving, okay, maybe in its current state right now, perhaps not, but surely if we can get it to like a high standard, we can get it way above human driving. You know, like the old adages are, you know, computers don't get tired or make poor decisions or choose to drive when they're drunk. Nuclear energy needs a better PR team. It does, and it's had terrible PR because of Chernobyl and stuff, right? Oh, it's not gonna win people over. And this recent push from Microsoft and other companies to get nuclear power going for the AI systems, at first I thought that was kind of good, but then I kind of realized it's just a power AI. And AI is like this big power sink where it's like, is this going to pay off? You know? Because if it doesn't pay off, if it doesn't produce good results at the end of it, like we could be consuming a lot of resources that don't pay back. Nuclear energy is not cost effective. Wind and solar is way cheaper. It's not that, I don't think there's that much difference in it overall, but Potato says Chernobyl, Sellafield, Fukushima. I don't think I've heard of Sellafield before. But again, like as I was saying earlier about like grappling with statistics and stuff, we don't intuitively know how to quantify Chernobyl into the overall picture. Like you don't know how to quantify the impact that Chernobyl had against the amount of energy that it produced that we needed, right? And when people do get into the numbers on this stuff and then they compare it against the energy that fossil fuels has produced compared to the damage to the environment that it's created, like it's black and white. One's way worse than the other, like by a massive margin. At least AI would use nuclear energy and not humans as energy. Well, we're going to the Matrix now. We're going to harvest humans. Oh, we had some noises in the air. Oh my god, we had loads of noises in the air. I've been waffling and I've got no noises in the air. We had no... What am I on about? We had 0 noises in the air because no noises in the air is working right now. Thank you, Streamlabs, or whatever the problem is. I don't know. For some reason, I don't get the alert sounds coming through. And we've had alerts coming through and I've been ignoring them. I feel so bad. We should bomb the whole planet and start from scratch, says Blobtit. Nah, that would be really bad. That would be really bad. Pessimism is easy. It's easy just to be negative and say, do away with it all. It's much harder to work on these hard problems and figure stuff out. And that's the better fight. That's the thing we really need to do is do the hard stuff. Arca the Acon, thank you so much for 3 months. Appreciate it, my dude. Herminator was here for 70 months. Hi, X, what do you think about dimensional depots from Satisfactory being added to Minecraft or something similar to solve the whole inventory thing? I don't think that's the way to go, but I do often feel like being at like the Factorio, like look at any item, put it on your hotbar and ghost with it could work so well because you could ghost into shulker boxes and bundles, right? So you carry around a bunch of boxes and bundles and then your hotbar can ghost them in and out and stuff. I think that could be really cool. Plus, I think survival would be great if you could have like a menu that lets you look at every block in the game in a way that helps you kind of like think about what you could do with all the blocks. Because there's so many now, you just forget that there's like textures and useful things you could take advantage of. Heart Voyager, thank you for 6 months. Miss Holmes, 92 with the Prime. Dimzen with the Prime. And Aliadin 2003 with the Prime. Thank you for using those Primes on me, peeps. If you did not know, you can get a free subscription here with your Amazon Prime account. If you choose to do that, I thank you in advance. Did I watch Cubs The List videos? No, I haven't watched those. I know it's like a suggestions thing. There's probably some great, I mean, you know, it's Cub fan. There'll be some great suggestions in there. But I've been playing this game for a long time and just thought about so many aspects of it that could be different. For me, it really boils down to fundamentals. Like, I think it's time to just redo the inventory system and be bold and drastic and give us something that is less block by block, less grindy. We want to be able to realize our creativity faster in survival mode, I think. Right, I came here for the red blocks, and to be fair, I've probably got enough now. Kind of feels like I'm running out of them to pick up as well. Yo, X, ever heard of Vintage Story? I have, and I've played it, and it was, if I recall correctly, very grindy like survival Minecraft is, right? Which doesn't interest me. Any game that's like grindy like survival Minecraft, that's a Minecraft-like game, you'd be hard-pressed to get me playing it. Because I've been grinding this game for so long. Oh yeah, it's very, very grindy. Fair, I get it. That was my, you know, I played it a few years ago, and that was my takeaway, was just not another grindy Minecraft survival experience. If you like that, though, that's fair. You know, when I first played Minecraft, it was way slower than it is now, but it was also totally magical, because it was like, what? I get to just place blocks and shape this world in my own image? That was amazing back then in the beginning, but after so many years of playing it, that charm has faded a little bit. I still love the whole shape your own world. It's just you spend lots of time doing stuff like this, which it's good, but you know, building something takes a long time now. Anyway, enough moaning. I do so much of that about the inventory and stuff. It's worth it most of the time, though, says Animal Gamer Test. I'm glad you feel that way. I still think it is, because I've got an audience with me, and I'm still playing the game, obviously, but if I didn't have all of y'all, and Hermitcraft, I would probably be trying to find, like, the next thing on from this, and I definitely got a whiff of it from Satisfactory. Like, maybe if it were like, hey, X, nothing's ever going to happen with Minecraft again. Like, there's no Hermitcraft Season 11. There's no Minecraft updates. What are you going to do? I'd probably go make a Satisfactory mod pack and be like, let's turn this game into a building game. I wouldn't even put factories in it. Actually, I probably would. I think you always need that survival aspect. I think there's a nice sense of reward to working towards getting the things that you want to build with. But it would be way easier to build, way easier to gather stuff and go in a direction. Because even though you want to build, you kind of want to like exist in that world. You want to have like that farm that you needed to get those blocks and then build like a facade around it or whatever. So the survival aspect is still important, but the building tools Satisfactory has, I really, really like them. Satisfactory with proper building would be amazing. Do you mean as in like more blocks, more shapes, more textures? Because that's what I think you mean, because that's what feels like it's missing to me. You can build kind of cool, like factory looking stuff, but then quite early on you realize it's flexible for building, but there's like a limitation of textures. And it feels a little odd, because it feels like there's lots of just easy wins where they could add, you know, 10 different textures for this type of block, and you'd be able to build a gazillion more types of building. Like Hytale. Hytale posted another update to their game recently. Cub had an interesting inventory solution in his last video, Ender Depot, which basically allows you to automatically pull in and out of your inventory. Still considered, and not really an overhaul, but interesting. It's been suggested since it was very first added that it could work like that, and I don't think I would be in favor of that. Because I think the immersion of moving around the world is really cool. Like to go to a place to pick up some stuff and then coming back. Because otherwise you'd sort of, I think you'd end up porting everything through one location. You know, you'd have your master storage system and then all your farms would plug into it and you wouldn't really have to worry about it. Which, you know, I can see arguments for and against it. My personal preference is what I don't like is moving around because I'm trying to do something and my inventory is full and now I've got to go over there and get this item, or oh, I forgot something, is quite annoying. Like, when you're trying to do this thing and you're moving around to compensate for the game's inventory, I find that frustrating. It's not always like that though. What I do like is like traveling to that farm I built to use it for a while and then bringing stuff back. So maybe it's more of a personal preference thing. How many more corals do I need? I've got way more than I'm going to use. Like, a ridiculous amount more. It's kind of silly. I probably could have been done over there in less than half the time. Rich Xisuma leaving the beacon base. What a flex. Yeah, not really. It's iron. We have no shortage of iron. His suggestion was interesting. It would be an endgame item and only work for a certain radius. I tell you what, I kind of like the idea of doing my own, like, suggestions video. I think if I wanted to do that though, I'd want to like probably get some mods or textures or custom stuff added into, like, I don't know how Cub does his videos, by the way. Does he just talk about it? Because I think if I were to do like a suggestions and ideas, I would want to like make it look like it's happening in the video, which is what I did with my inventory management video. Is I had a mock-up, like using video editing, of how something would be different. That's what I'd like to do. I thought that was suspicious gravel for a second, and I was like, wait, how did I get that? And it's like, well, you didn't. You can't just accumulate that. It's not how that works, son. It's not how that works. I literally know I don't need this much, so we'll put some of it into a box. Into this box specifically. Right, I think after I finish my next episode, this is going to be one heck of a massive long sort, because that is a lot of stuff to get shuffled away. It needs to be after my next video, because I need to wrap up some builds and bring... Like, I've got loads of boxes missing off the wall as well. Because we're working on so much stuff. Let's check out this thing. That's a project for whenever. That's for my video. I'll do that when I'm back there. I think I can do all of that at another time. Let's go, yeah. Right, I want to go to the mural stuff. Nice! I forgot that I had any keys left. Alright. And I got one of those. So I want to make a mural for Doc. And I think what I'm going to do is, like, Doc's arms are raised with a key in each hand. We could put a smithing template or maybe some bottles floating around. Right? Now, what blocks best represent the trial chambers? I think this answers itself, doesn't it? Oh, I don't have my... I have my vanilla tweaks. Whoa! What was that about? I can't see the border around the wax blocks. That's really odd. Oh, tough blocks. Actually, okay. Let's grab. Do you know what? I've probably got all of these in here. Yeah, I've got all. Yeah, I got enough in there. Okay. And then tough blocks. Yeah. I just immediately thought of copper. I forgot about the other one. Oh, I really wish for shulker box labels. That is an absolute... This should be in the game. That's a really cool idea for an ideas series. This should be in the game, right? Just call it that. Tough was in your Ender too, right? This is Gabe's. Yeah, there's probably some tough in there as well, actually. Good point. I mean, I'm that organised, right? The question is there enough? Is there enough tough? Not for the blocks I was going to use. And I'm pretty sure I don't have any tough because it's on my list of things to go and mine. Alright, so here's where we're going to go next. Courtesy of the Hermitcraft recap. Yeah, every time I watch the recap, I get really inspired to do stuff here on the server. And then I learn a couple of things about what other people have been doing. So we learned that Doc built a Nembomb farm and that Nembomb is still doing stuff, which is awesome. And then I learned that Mumbo came here to mine for tough. And I was like, that's interesting because it's just a big hole that you can dip down into. There's beacons here. So like, is there like some visible tough that we can just go pick up? He might have got a lot of it already, but I would suspect that there might still be some more. It does look like there are obvious signs that someone came over here and chewed it out. The thing is, I'm not actually here to pick up like a shulker box's worth, so if we just get these little bits, we'll probably be good. Yeah, like I've definitely got more than enough now. So that is a very handy way to go and get yourself some quick tough. When you're in need of a few blocks, just drop down here. I don't know if there's any more. If there is, they probably all got mines. Oh, no! No, I'm not going near the hole into the void. If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I don't like dying in this game. No one does, but I do not appreciate a grind to get all your gear back. I will... If I fell in that hole, I would log off. I'd be like, there's no other episode. I'll see you next year. What is my death count this season? Let's go find out. $58. Too many deaths. Too many deaths. 58 excruciating deaths. A lot of them were like killing myself for heads and other things. So there's that. Yes, still working, buddy. Yes, still working. We love it. We love it. So, over here. Now, for some reason, my gut is telling me that I'm hungry. That's what my gut's telling me right now. You're hungry, X. But I've already eaten. Still hungry. I'm always hungry. A little bit of asymmetry down the bottom. We might throw in a couple more and repeat that. You never know. You know, we like to live on the wild side. Oh, X. Putting in more copper blocks, are you naughty devil? Right, let's fail to do this properly. Yeah. That's me failing to do it properly. Those are the ones I want. Oh, like that. Okay, got it. Yeah, I want some of these in here. So we're going to have, like, Doc. Probably kind of central again. Just thinking about how we've laid out all the other ones. Central is going to be quite common. Though, yeah, it's really nicely balanced, actually. It all feels right. Okay, so if I put one of those here... Yeah, I reckon I want more of them. Like that pattern just going up to the top, I think, is what we'll go with. Right, plenty of those blocks. Yeah, this feels right. Problem is, I'm in the wrong spot. Yeah, that looks good, doesn't it? That now the copper. You know what? I think we'll keep the copper there. That'll do. Or maybe raise them to there. Actually, Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's see what it looks like when we swap it around. Because the glass kind of creates like a little bit of a border, and so it feels a little bit disconnected. So if we swap it around and put that there, this over here. Now it feels a bit more a part of it. I think I like it that way around way more. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have Doc here. What if we had him like his torso coming out of the wall, his arms out to either side, like holding the keys, and then maybe put some bottles somewhere? I feel like the bottles would look cool on top of something like a fence post maybe, or a wall. What's the like a dark oak fence post either side with a bottle on. Doc's coming out holding the keys looking up. We did have that smithing template, but I don't think it's really going to like fit in unless we like lay it down on top of there. But then that's going to stop you from clicking on here probably, which we don't want. Are those stats auto updated? Kinda. These ones are broken though. These two didn't pan out the way we wanted them to. I feel like each time I look at these numbers, something's changed. Like, sure, Joe wasn't that high up before. Hey X, thanks for what you do in the community and the server. You're a legend. Figured I would say hey in stream before jumping off Twitch for the night. Thanks for saying that, man. I always appreciate hearing that. I do my bit where I can to help out behind the scenes. I have there's other people helping as well, but yeah, I do a bit of this and that. Copper bulb is an instinct for you. Yeah, copper bulb probably would suit this a lot. But I think I'm going to stick with that. And I like my idea of Doc coming through the wall, holding up the keys, and having some potions on posts. I think it might just be as simple as that here. Everything fits the theme. So we need armor stands. We got them here. I need to drink some water. I just realized I am dehydrated. Does it ever hit you like that? It does every now and then to me when I haven't drunk a lot of water. Neil says, how is it possible that you've eaten much more than anyone else? It's because the statistic stuff hasn't worked. We've had to like retroactively pull statistics from people's statistic files because they're not being tracked. Then combine them to create like a new tracker. And it basically just didn't work. Is what's going on there. Where's the try? I could have just chucked that in the sorter, couldn't I? I detest drinking water. I have to bully myself into drinking. Dude, I love water. It's so refreshing. It's just... oh man, I can guzzle some more down right now. We running mad ads? Sheesh, says Lil Gums. That's Twitch. That's Twitch these days. Alright, so yeah, I kind of know what I'm doing with all of that. I needed to check if I had a dock head was the one other thing. I can always grab Doc's head with a squin swap. A squin swap. Or we visit Ijevin's shop. I like to support the local economy. I don't actually, it's a lie. Oh! Shoot, while we're heading over there. I don't like leaving this waiting. I think I was supposed to do this last time I streamed. Perlio! Okay, Perlio will get you hooked up. 5, 750, 1000. We are on it. Like Scotch upon it. Still don't know what song I heard that in, but I say it every now and then. Maddie Goody says, hello friends. How are you liking the new update so far? I've been waiting to get back into MC to get the building spark back. Maddie, why do you talk like that? It's such a weird way to talk. I'm sorry. Every now and then I do a voice. Every now and then I'll do a voice. Right, Doc. Where you at, homie? Nope, no Doc head, so I have to get a Doc head. Now we've got trophies to get. I don't think I'm going to update the leaderboard right now. Oh, I really should. It's such a grind sometimes to do all of this. Oh, I don't have Pearl. No, wait, there's Pearl. Pearl's there. Right, 1000 would put you at a gold level. Ah, there's some other modifications I gotta make around here. Okay, we'll go get a, I'll tell you what, I'll come back here and do some stuff for that later. We'll just take care of this right now. Oh, the golden apple one. Right, so, trigger, custom, set, 72? Do you know what, I'm supposed to... This isn't right. No, they are the right one. Oh, I thought they were the wrong thing. Whatever. Okay, let's put that back in there. These are the right things, right. I was like, hang on a minute. I've renamed these and stocked them up before. What's going on? What's going on? Right, I'll do the Perlio leaderboard thing when I attend to stuff in this book, right? Because there are modifications to be made there. Done, 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 done. And then we can mail these back to Pearl. We can add some profits. Does that mean I've got to check on my profits? Oh, I gotta go check for money. Jeez. Oh, a bunch of diamonds, always counting them up. You know how it goes. Oh, the hardships of a hermit crafter. Suffering from success, indeed, indeed. Ah, looks like we're good. Oh no, I thought we were good. Oh, jeez, I made some more diamonds. What will I do? What will I do? I've got to pay. No, wait, this isn't the season when we have taxes, is it? I reckon we should. Actually, I don't know what we should do. Like next season, we got to change it up each season. I love doing the permits. I wouldn't want to do them again this season. But if we did do them again, I think a different method of distribution could be interesting. Oh, is this... Wait, no, I heard it. I swore that was out last time I visited. Right. This shop, I don't even remember what my things are anymore. Chat probably... Oh, Joe took down the parade. No, that was so amazing. That should have stayed there. That was such an amazing build. Oh, I'm sad now. I can't remember what my colours were. I think it was this one, blue and lime. I definitely had lime. I definitely had blue. Pretty sure it was blue, grey and lime. Look, I put a lot of effort into building this. If I accidentally took the wrong thing, you know, so what? It's not thievery. I'm just relatively confident that those are mine. Next season, hermits are only allowed to build stores in the Nether. What would be the point of that though? Because you would just have to build your, you'd have to build your builds to be sort of spawn proof, right? And then there wouldn't. I don't think there'd be much more of a twist to it. Maybe you could argue there's some added convenience of everything being in like one spot together, maybe. But like we already do that, so. I don't think putting it in the Nether pans out very well. You also own Lime Wall, according to the wiki. Yeah, we just I confirmed that. Lime was the one I knew. Okay. Let's see. Right, I need a Perlio stamp. There's Pearl. Stamp goes there, box goes next to it. We'll send back the same box. And just put the trophies in, and then she knows what's up. Alright. What are we going to do with all these diamonds? I'm suffering from success again. I don't know what to do with them. Where do we put them? I would love if you just built one giant shop like a supermarket. I like that idea. And I would be happy to go along with doing that, but I know some people wouldn't like that idea because it does come up. We've done malls in the past. I think the problem with doing a mall is that some people would really like to like do something big and visual or whatever, and like the mall kind of restricts your space. So it would take everyone, I think, sort of giving that up. Oh, I just did a thing. I forgot to count. Okay, We'll do it later. I can do that later today. It's in the book, I won't forget. I love the book. The book is great. If we lose the book, I will be sad. Yeah, I'll do that later today. We'll keep count. And then did I place those off? I think I might have. I think I might have done that, actually. I didn't think that was me for a second. I was like, whoa, did someone come over here and change some stuff? No, it probably was me. Let's put... I guess maybe we end up with like a second diamond pile over here or something soon. On there. There you go. It keeps getting bigger. Oh, some of y'all are doing the count for me. I appreciate that. I'll double check it with the video footage. I was talking to Ren about this the other day. I tell the hermits a lot about stuff that I find, but I think I probably just bore them to death with all these discoveries and stuff. But like, I got it set up so that when I stream, it just records in high quality to my hard drive and I don't have to think about it. I can also just press a button if I need to see the last 5 minutes, and like that goes into a separate file. And then I've got like, every time I encounter a problem, I try and find a solution. So one was like sending portions of this, like I've got this big live stream file. How do I send a portion of it? And I found a little app that does lossless cutting. And so like, that's like another tool in the tool belt. If I need to make a clip of a live stream, I can also just, this tool's really quick, by the way. You know, you just highlight 1 hour to 1 hour, 20 minutes, and it cuts it out and it works perfectly. And then all the audio in my like personal VOD is separated. I have like what you hear, then I have a track for music, I have a track for my voice, I have a track for the game sounds. So like, once you set all that up, you just save yourself any inconveniences, really. Like, that stuff's just there. So if I have to go back and watch the by the way, I was doing stuff with my hands then, I just realized, and like, you can't even see it. I'm like making gestures for cutting. Professional streamer, yeah, exactly. Tutorial. I don't make tutorials on techie stuff like that because you tend to encounter like edge cases, I find. Maybe with this thing it's harmless, but there's definitely some techie stuff where the edge case is gonna make it like not fun, because like you don't want to provide tech support as well, is sort of the problem there. All right, so we're gonna do this, I think, pretty fast. Yeah, we're gonna do this fast because it's kind of a simple one. Base plate? Nope. We do want it to be invisible. We need to show the arms first. Once you've done that, then you want to put it on the head. Perfect. So like, it's -1 that we go. We don't want gravity as well. This has been swapped, by the way, so instead of saying no gravity, it just says gravity, which is awesome. Do the old... that's the wrong one. So we put it there. Then we've got to find out, like... Can you see how it's, like, needs to be a tiny bit higher? So 0.9... 0.95, maybe? And then the position isn't quite right. Let's go Also 0.95. 0.9, 0.8. Oh, that's not 8. Yeah, 0.8 seems about right. Oh! No! It's right next to the animated one! I have to do this very differently. Oh dear. It's not that simple. Here's what we're going to do, peeps. I'm going to move this entire operation over by 1. Does that wear out the HDD or SSD, right? All the writing and deleting? Nah, not these days. There's some truth to that stuff, because back in the day, yeah, you could wear out a hard drive, but these days, the way the numbers scale, it's not something to worry about anymore. Let's not do the invisible one just yet. Okay, let's get back there and do this again. Oh, having Doc come out of the wall might be a problem as well. We'll see, we'll see. Whoa, almost broke some stuff. Do that. I don't think it animates when it's locked, says Burt Potato. You're probably right, but now that I've started moving this, we might as well finish the job. It's probably easier now to go here, but that's a good thing to remember for when we do that one. Okay, trial keys used. We've got the base bit down, then it's like boom, boom, boom. One over here, one over there. That's not correct. Huh. Oh! Ah! Just about. Just about. Ooh, that was a bit of work. Right, so X is minus 0.8. Actually, I think 7.5. 7.6, 7.5. And then we go down minus 0.8. Let's make it invisible. Minus 8.5 then. So 8.5 and 7.5. Oh, maybe 9. Yeah, 7.5 and 9. Perfect, perfect. Oh no, maybe not. It looks a little bit floaty. So we did go 9. Let's go minus 0.05. Nah, we won't. No, it does need something. Minus 0.02. Perfect. So now it's minus 0.92, I think. And then minus 0.75. 74, 75. Invisible, yes. Perfect. Right, so we've got 2 bottles. Now we need a dock floating out of the top. Show those arms. Thank you very much. Now, should we flip the keys so that this one's on the opposite side? That could probably look really cool. I think it would look better than them being the same. So we do that, and then we do that. So we've got the green on the copper, yeah, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm on about. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm on about. Right, now the next thing is going to be the check. Before we put a tunic on, we need to do a check. So... nope. No base plate. No gravity. That's what I want. So let's go up by 1 block. Then back by 2. Now here's where it gets tricky. I want the torso, the body. Okay, that's a 0. That's the one that I want. I want that to go like... so Doc's coming out. The problem with doing this is that the legs remain. So I might have to make the arms invisible. That's interesting. I think we had this problem before, didn't we? We need to hide the legs, and the only way to do that is probably something like this, right? So then I would suggest that the arms need to go up. So left arm. That's kind of about right, I think. Maybe a little bit higher. Let's go for 80. Then we'll do the same on that side. Then we need a bit of a spread out. Although, what does this rotation do? Let's set both of those to like 10. That one will be minus then, I guess. Then splay them out a bit. About a 20, I think. At which point, I feel like they now need to go higher again, so we'll go to 90. 100 even. 100 over here. Feels about right to me. That is actually pretty much what I had envisioned all along. That's great. That's great. So Let's go get that DocM skin next. What is a DocM file and how do I open it? I just searched DocM. I didn't really think. I like autopiloted to Google or something. How do we open a DocM? Okay, right now I'm on the right place. Okay, Doc's regular skin. We're going to have to put on the white lab coat, basically. That's how it's going to work. Okay, over to the skins we go. Let's add a new one. Get that DocM skin going. Right, I guess I'll want to set my spawn here, but I don't have a bed. This feels like a place you should have a bed, you know? Right. Reset. Spawn. Oh, wow. Look at those. Look at those. The thing that I need to kill me is explosive firework rockets. They're in my base. So, actually, we'll probably just go do this at the base then. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. It's not Joel Juice. Before you say anything. Right, that'll let me fly for a little while longer. Ah! I didn't take off properly. Classic Minecraft. Is Zed going to be cooking for the foreseeable future until you murder Tango? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean. Where did I leave these rockets, right? My gut tells me I put them up here. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that trusty old gut. Tells me when I'm hungry, tells me where firework rockets are. Am I missing something? What is Joel Juice's average AA batteries? Someone hasn't been watching my episodes. You've outed yourself. We know who you are now. Okay, I got to relog though, right? I wonder if it would give me Doc's head if I hadn't relogged. That would have been interesting. Hi. Then I need a place to get hit. I think here will do. Ow. Extra fall damage. Nice. Woo. Bam. I'm dead. Sweet. We always do it more than once, right? Just in case. Except I need the fireworks to do that, and they've vanished. Where did... Oh, they went over there somehow. Okay. Come on. I'm bored already. Okay, let's go grab everything. And then sort this out. And change my skin back. I do not want to look like DocM right now. I want to look like a Creakin. So this might be a little bit tricky because, yeah, it'll do that. Oh, interesting. So you can actually just swap ahead straight like that. All right, leather tunic time. Your favorite time of the stream, right? You love that leather tunic. Right, let's go get 8 of those. One of that, I guess. Let's drape on a silky white lab coat. Oh, it's perfect. That looks great. That looks great. It's so clear what it's about. Like, just a great way to celebrate the trials and the chambers and the keys and the potions and the docs and the M's and the 77s. All of that stuff. All of that stuff. Right, I'm going to bounce. I got to go places in a little bit. That'll be the end of my stream. I'm going to raid Joe. Massive thank you to everyone for tuning in. I'll be streaming again on Sunday. Maybe a slim chance of a bonus one on Saturday, but I wouldn't bet on it. We'll see what happens. Hope you enjoyed this one. Your Hermitcraft continues with Joe, except Twitch is being twitchy. It might not let me raid. Yeah, Twitch is being twitchy. Peeps, head over to Joe's channel. You can find him on YouTube. You can find him on Twitch. Continue the fun. It looks like I'm not going to be able to raid because something's wrong with Twitch. Twitch is twitchy. You know how it is. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon.